The power of assumption. Imagine living each day with the unwavering belief that everything is happening for your highest good. That every delay, every rejection, every redirection is not a setback, but a divine setup. This is not just wishful thinking. It is a mindset rooted in one of the most powerful teachings from personal development pioneer Napoleon Hill. Act as if everything always works out. At first glance, this phrase may seem overly optimistic or naive, but in truth, it carries deep psychological and spiritual significance. It's a declaration of unwavering faith, a conscious alignment with your desired reality, and a catalyst for the manifestation of your greatest potential. Napoleon Hill, best known for his timeless classic Think and Grow Rich, explored the invisible forces that shape human achievement. He argued that our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes act as blueprints for our destiny. Central to his teachings was the idea that we must believe in the inevitability of our success before we ever see the results. In other words, we must first act as if. This essay explores how this principle, when lived fully, can transform the way we perceive failure, rewire our reality, and unlock an extraordinary life of purpose and power. The mental blueprint of success. Hill once said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." This isn't just a motivational soundbite. It's a framework for creating your reality. The idea of acting as if speaks to the profound power of belief before evidence. Every successful person has, at some point, committed to a vision that was invisible to the outside world. They walked, talked, and lived in alignment with a future they believed in, even when there was no proof it would come to pass. When you act as if everything is working in your favor, you're not ignoring reality. You're choosing to respond to it from a place of inner certainty. You are programming your subconscious mind to scan for opportunities instead of threats. According to Hill, this type of mental conditioning is not just beneficial, it's essential. The brain, when focused on positive outcomes, engages what neuroscience calls the reticular activating system, filtering the environment to notice cues and connections that support your dominant beliefs. In practical terms, when you face an obstacle but still act as though it's part of a larger plan working in your favor, you shift your energy. You become solution-oriented, not problem-focused. This allows your creativity, resilience, and intuition to rise to the surface, qualities that are often stifled by doubt and fear. Hill believed that the mind is the master weaver, shaping both your internal and external worlds. So when you act with confidence in a benevolent outcome, you're telling the universe, "I am ready for success." Faith over fear. The spiritual implication. To act as if is to choose faith over fear. Napoleon Hill dedicated an entire chapter of Think and Grow Rich to the topic of faith, not religious faith but a deeper personal conviction. He described it as an emotionalized belief, a state of mind that feeds success and neutralizes failure. Faith, according to Hill, is a vibration. When you're in that frequency, you align with the rhythm of the universe, making it easier for your desires to take form. Living with a mindset that everything always works out is not about denying pain or ignoring challenges. Rather, it's about viewing them through a transcendent lens. Every breakdown becomes a breakthrough. Every failure becomes feedback. You begin to perceive setbacks not as curses, but as cosmic instructions. Hill emphasized that the universe responds not to our wishes, but to our expectations. When you expect a positive outcome, even if you don't yet know how, it becomes far more likely to manifest. This level of inner certainty is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who give up too soon. Acting as if isn't about delusion. It's about elevating your vibration to match the reality you want to experience. Spiritual traditions across the world echo this same wisdom. As within, so without. The outer world mirrors your inner belief. Hill, in his own words, called it the power of thought transmuted into its physical equivalent. In other words, your belief becomes your reality. The law of attraction meets action. The concept of acting as if aligns perfectly with what many today call the law of attraction. But Napoleon Hill was careful to stress that belief alone is not enough. Action is the key. To act as if means to live out your faith through your daily decisions, behaviors, and routines. It means showing up to your goals, not timidly, but boldly, with the energy of someone who already knows the outcome is guaranteed. When you embody this mindset, your energy shifts. People can feel it. Opportunities open up. You're no longer chasing success, you're attracting it. Hill wrote that definiteness of purpose is one of the major causes of success. When you act as if you are already successful, wealthy, healthy, or loved, you radiate clarity and purpose. You take the necessary risks. You move with trust. And that confidence becomes contagious. Inaction, on the other hand, is a signal to the universe that you don't believe in your dream. Fear-based hesitation reinforces limitation. Hill believed in what he called applied faith, faith that is acted upon in the face of uncertainty. So acting as if is not passive daydreaming, it is embodied belief, a willingness to move forward even when the road ahead is not fully visible. That's when miracles happen. Rewriting the story of failure. One of the most radical benefits of this mindset is how it reframes failure. If you believe everything is working out, then failure cannot be the final word. It becomes data, not destiny. Hill famously said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." This is only visible to those who act as if their story is still unfolding, because it is. When you see your life through this lens, you stop fearing rejection, criticism, or loss. You begin to understand that the universe sometimes reroutes you because there's something better waiting ahead. This belief isn't always easy to hold in the moment, but it's essential. Acting as if doesn't mean pretending to be unaffected. It means trusting that the pain has a purpose. Hill shared numerous stories of people who faced devastating losses before reaching monumental success. The difference? They did not let failure define them. They acted as if they were still on the right path. And in doing so, they found it. When you live from that place of trust, you stop being the victim of your circumstances and become the author of your fate. That is the true power of acting as if. Practical steps to embody the as if mindset. So how do we begin to act as if everything is always working out? Here are a few key practices inspired by Hill's teachings. 1. Visualize the desired outcome daily. Spend time each morning visualizing your goals as already complete. See the success. Feel the emotions. Train your mind to accept it as reality. 2. Speak affirmations with emotion. Hill emphasized the power of autosuggestion. Use affirmations like, "Everything is happening for me," or "I am aligned with abundance." Say them with feeling, conviction, and repetition. 3. Make decisions from your future self. Ask, what would the successful version of me do right now? Dress the part, speak the part, show up for your life with energy and purpose. 4. Respond to challenges with curiosity, not panic. When something goes wrong, immediately reframe it. What lesson is this teaching me? How might this serve me later? 5. Take inspired action. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Move forward in faith. Even a small step signals belief to your subconscious and the universe. By consistently practicing these habits, you rewire your mind to see possibility where others see limitation. You become magnetic. You become unstoppable. Conclusion: the ultimate act of creation. To act as if everything always works out is not just a motivational phrase, it is a spiritual law, a blueprint for transformation and a revolutionary way to live. Napoleon Hill's legacy endures because he taught us that success is not reserved for the lucky few. It is the birthright of those who believe deeply enough to embody their vision before it manifests. Life will test this mindset. You will be tempted to doubt, to give up, to play small. But every time you choose to act in alignment with faith, instead of fear, you declare your authority as a conscious creator. You tap into your inner genius. You walk in harmony with the universal forces that shape destiny. So take a breath. Look around. Even now, something unseen is working in your favor. And if you act as if everything always works out, eventually it will. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. As Hill would say, faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Believe, act, become.